You don't scale your business by working harder. You scale by replacing yourself. In this video, I'm walking you through exactly how we make company playbooks and SOPs inside of our business. So every task that needs to happen, sales, admin, client delivery, fulfillment, content, happens whether I'm sitting at my desk or not. This is how you turn your business into a machine that grows without bottlenecking you. Let's dive in. So first I want to talk about why playbooks actually equal scalability in your business. Most entrepreneurs stay stuck because everything lives up here, in their head, in their mind. And then when they start to realize, hey, my time's getting more and more valuable, but also more and more scarce, they start to realize that they need to take what's been living up here and start to document that so that other people that they begin to plug into their business can start to take that action too. And they can be following your specific roadmap that's led to the results that you have today. And let's be honest, systems are what create freedom, but only if you document them correctly. So the real goal of entrepreneurship, most of the time people say, is freedom. But the goal really should be to build a business that operates independently of you. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the hire where it hurts rule. A lot of times I get asked this question when it comes to hiring your first staff, first team member. And that is, Jamie, with so many things that I feel like I'd like to hire for, what should I hire for first? And really what I feel is the biggest indicator of that is where you are currently the biggest bottleneck holding your business back from results and success. So for example, a personal example from recently is we were booking so many calls onto my schedule from a client delivery perspective, but also from a sales perspective. And I realized that our sales calendar was booking out weeks and weeks in advance. And obviously that's not ideal, especially when you're looking to continue scaling your business. And so I realized that I became the number one bottleneck in sales, which is key to growing our company. And so I realized that I needed to outsource and bring on someone who specifically will help us with sales because she has more time and availability on her calendar. So what that did was unbottleneck sales from our business and opened up another schedule full time into our space. So we were no longer bottlenecked by my schedule when it came to sales. So that's how I knew that it was time to hire for that. I also knew when it was time to hire an executive assistant when I realized that I was so focused on client delivery and being active with my clients and filming content that I really needed someone that I could lean on to take off the plate of scheduling those meetings, of checking my email, of making sure the team is hitting KPIs, other things that were happening behind the scenes that I knew didn't necessarily need to be me, but needed to be someone who had direct access to me. And so that's where my executive assistant came into play as well. So I want you to start to ask yourself, if I could replace myself here, what would unlock growth? And start to think of the potential of if you weren't standing in your way anymore, if you could replace yourself, if you could fire yourself today, what would the potential of your business look like? And you start to realize that the more you hold on to continuing to doing the thing that you honestly probably suck at and you're holding your business back by hanging on to, you're the reason that your business isn't at the level that it could and should be. So hiring where it hurts, this is where you should start to build your first SOP and your first playbook. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that next. So before we jump into that, I want you to choose your first playbook now. So where is your business being bottlenecked currently, and where should you replace yourself first? Write that down. So next, I'm going to outline the playbook to creating playbooks. So if you'd like direct access to this playbook, it's going to be linked directly below this video. Housed inside of our free community, you'll have direct access to this playbook so that you can print it out, have it beside you as you create your very first playbook. So the first step is to document everything that you do frequently. Think your sales process, client onboarding, admin tasks, content, your Skool community management, your CRM and backend systems. Basically think of what you do on a day-to-day and just start documenting that process. Anything you do to make your marketing, your sales, your client delivery perform smoothly, that's what we need to start to look at of what are you doing on the day-to-day to make that process work, and start creating that checklist and that process today. So the first thing that we can do to begin documenting, number one, is just simply record a Loom video of you doing that task 3 times. The reason we want to do it 3 times is maybe you do something a little bit different the second time that your team member would prefer. Or maybe there's a detail that you missed out. Just 3 times is great so there's multiple references to that same task. Once you have that Loom video created, it's thinking back to your process step by step and making a step-by-step checklist. So step 1, do this. Step 2, do that. So if I think about our client onboarding specifically, I will say like step 1, confirm payment has been received. Step 2, ensure they're part of our paid Skool membership. Step 3, add them to their private Slack channel. Step 4, yada, yada. And I keep going. Every single step that I want to make sure that is done without me, and my executive assistant can handle this and then fully onboard our client into our program. So what's really cool about that is our salesperson enrolls them, my executive assistant then onboards them, and then I speak with them after they're already a client. So it's really cool how that entire system works. That's just one playbook that we have. We have playbooks for everything. But once again, hire where it hurts. So record yourself in a Loom video. From there, what you're going to do is create that step-by-step checklist so that somebody else can go through and think of this like the training wheels for your team of step 1, do this, step 2, do that, step 3, do this. I think it's really important to look at this checklist and this playbook as an evolving living document and make that clear with your team member. So I always tell my team members, hey, if there's any way that I can improve this process, simplify it, streamline it, make it more efficient, I am super open. I'm eager to hear your feedback because I want this to be a living document. I didn't just create this one time to just pretend I know exactly the best way something should be run. I want you to provide your feedback and even upgrade this playbook. One of the cool things that you can do if you already have a team is to ask your team members, hey, can you just start to document the process that you're doing to do this specific task? Have your team member create playbooks for you. It doesn't always have to be on you. And in fact, if you haven't been doing something for a while, so like, for example, your content creation or content scheduling to social media, but somebody else has been handling that and you've let go of that task already, have them turn that process into a playbook so that in the future, as you add more team members or heaven forbid you have to replace someone, you can easily hand a new team member that playbook. And the idea is everything that they need to be not only successfully onboarded to your team, but to successfully do their job is right inside. So what I've done is added all of my playbooks into a Notion board that says Company Playbooks. Inside of our Company Playbooks, what I've done is actually organize it based on department. So as we add new team members, we can give them access to all of the playbooks within that department or the relevant playbook specifically for them. So I have the sales playbook, the setter playbook, the seeker playbook, the client onboarding playbook, the executive assistant playbook, all of these playbooks, and some of them are still actively being created right now. Others are already done and complete and will just continue to refine as we grow the business. To break down even more clearly what I want to see in a finished playbook is an onboarding checklist for that new team member. So step by step, everything that they need to be given access to, all the trainings they should watch, their personal company email, how you track their time, all of these things that we need to make sure that when they start onboarding, they need to go through this checklist. That should be there right at the top. Then from there, you'll have their tasks broken down into that Loom video and then the simple checklists. And then from there, you might have KPIs or team standards or team meetings and how to access them. Okay, so just start to think of, I want to create this one guide that I could hand it to a new team member, and day one, they'll have everything that they need without question. This is exactly what they need to get started in our company and to have success in their role. So when it comes to team usage and accountability, we make sure that we are constantly talking about the playbooks and referring to aspects inside of them as a standard. So anytime I'm asked questions more than 3 times, I'm going to go in and do the same thing. Film the Loom video, jot down what exactly the task is in the proper order, and I'm going to add that into playbooks, constantly upgrading and refining my playbooks. My executive assistant keeps track of playbook creation and is also helping me to upgrade them as our business grows. So I want to talk about the business functions that I've actually fired myself from. I think one of the number one things you should be doing as an entrepreneur is firing yourself from anything that's outside of your zone of genius in your business. So I fired myself from admin and calendar management, from client delivery and our membership launch light program, from our CRM and our backend automations and tech that's going on behind the scenes, from content production, content editing, content scheduling, from community management in our free and paid communities, from traffic and lead setting. And 50% or more of our sales calls do not come to me, neither do our onboarding calls. Even household tasks like household cleaning, and we're in the process of hiring a vegan chef. So there's 8 members on our business team and other members on just our household team alone. And so I believe the more that we want to serve more people, help more people, the more we need to begin to fire ourselves from the ways that we're holding ourselves and our business back from doing that. And so my challenge for you is to really figure out what your number one bottleneck is and start unbottlenecking your business as fast as humanly possible so you can begin to scale your income and your impact far beyond what it is today, because you'll no longer be the bottleneck holding your business back from that glass ceiling that's currently preventing you from skyrocketing your growth forward. Scalability means buying back your time. Freedom doesn't come from automation alone. It doesn't even come from having a team alone. It comes from clarity and proper documentation of what's working in your business right now, and making sure your entire team has the resources and support that they need to fully implement the vision that you all share together. And a business that runs without you starts with systems that anyone can run. If you want to experience how these systems work inside of a real community funnel, come behind the scenes inside of our free Skool community. You'll see the exact systems, automation, and client journey that we've built, and how we've documented every piece of the process to keep scaling without adding more hours to my calendar. And just a reminder, if you would like access to the playbook on creating playbooks, it's housed inside of our free community. Inside of that description down below, you'll get direct access, and you can print it out and have it right beside you as you go through creating your very first SOP and playbook so that you can begin freeing yourself from the trenches of your business, doing more of what you love, less of what you don't. The link is below. And if you're ready to build your own backend system with us, feel free to book in a membership mastery with my team so we can help you on your specific strategy. I'll see you in the next one.